Hello, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back into Centex Sports Network, live here from the Star in Frisco, Texas at Big 12 Media Day, day number 2 here in Frisco. And it's been a lot of fun so far, folks. We've got a chance to talk to a lot of different people, media personnel, players, coaches, all types of different people. And we're going to be repurposing all this content and put it back out to you guys. But a lot of fun as we wrapped up day 1, now here to start day 2 here at the beginning of the day. Rocky Miller still joining me here at the table. Rocky, man, what was Big 12 Media Day, day 1? What was it like?
Man, like I said on my live earlier, man, it was one of the most fascinating sports experiences I've had to get a chance to speak to the players and coaches, other media members. It was a really interesting experience. One thing that I mentioned on my live, and I want to know that how you felt about it. It kind of humanized not only the players but also the coaches to be up close next to them and let them know they're just, that to kind of get the idea that they're just men that's trying to do a job, provide for them family. They get paid handsomely, of course, but at the end of the day, they're just people, man, and they just have a very public job that they have to do.
No, definitely. I agree, man. It brings it down to a level of, hey, we're all just trying to do the same thing here, just different goals of what we're trying to get to. But getting a chance to talk to these different coaches, seeing their perspective on and off camera of how they talk, how they deal with players, seeing all the behind-the-scenes guys. You know, we just see the coaches and the players, but these SIDs, man, they're busier than anybody right now. Their phones is ringing off the hook. They got to keep everybody on schedule, getting these guys at different places. Man, it's a whole thing. It's not just a show up and take some pictures for Media Day.
Yeah, and as I think about Media Day for these players and coaches, it's kind of interesting because it's part press conference, part TV production.
Yep.
And part fashion show.
Yeah. We have seen some interesting outfits, to say the least, here at Big 12 Media Day for sure. But, yeah, it's all those wrapped into one.
And you get a chance, and you get the idea for sure that these guys put a lot of thought into what they're going to wear and what they're going to put on. And you do see by the ornaments they're wearing around their neck that the NIL money is flowing.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, cash money is definitely being passed out. I've seen some pieces floating around here. But no, just like you said, not only that, but they put a lot of thought into their answers on how they're going to answer some of these questions.
Absolutely.
We had some really brilliant answers to some questions yesterday on the show, and we'll be, like I said, we'll be re-putting a lot of those out, man. And Rocky asked some of the tough questions too about the forbidden words are money, NIL, and all that. Man, everybody handled it very well yesterday. Everybody handled it very well, answering different questions, and we got multiple different perspectives on how it's changed people's. Man, some of these guys came in 2020. NIL wasn't even a thought. Football wasn't a thought because there was no football getting played in 2020, and that's their freshman year all the way till now. Man, they're changing their families' lives. They're changing their lives. They can do what they want. Their families can do what they want. I mean, that's a huge deal.
Well, this is what I say. Like now, I'm not naive about it. They're discussing the money.
Yeah.
They're talking about the money.
They're definitely talking about it.
They're having conversations about the money. They're just not normally the media members aren't really addressing the
Exactly.
players about the money, the compensation, and how did that factor into what decisions they made. You know what I mean? But believe me, the answers that they're giving are, I'm sure, is those long lost cousins, those long lost friends that are coming along. That they're dealing with, they're used to dodging those money questions.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're having a level of prosperity that they have never experienced before, and they're creating friendships and relationships they probably never had before. So they're having to deal with it because again,
it's not just asking for tickets anymore.
No. Hey, the tickets ain't what we need. Plane tickets. You know what I mean? That's what they're trying to get to. But man, I think it's a great time in college football, man. To have those guys admit that this opportunity either change their lives or going to ultimately give them a great start, like Cole Wisniewski said, it's going to give him and his wife a great start in life.
Absolutely.
While they're getting to know each other, while they're experiencing their college days, they're also in a situation where they can get a windfall of money that could prepare them to make their
Yeah.
lives moving forward as they transition into whatever their careers are. That's a great benefit as a I've been married for some time, and you as a young husband, you understand how a windfall of cash could really
Oh, yeah.
take some of the pressure
Yeah.
off.
So
from
NIL
trying
will
to-
be cool, man. Y'all know some guys out there. Send them my way. I can do a Cane's commercial or something. We can hold up some chicken. But no,
Yeah,
I heard even Coach McGuire for Texas Tech yesterday, while I was listening to Coach Aranda do his as well, Coach McGuire was right next door doing his, and he said the same thing. He said, this is changing. These guys are able to help their families. So like you said, they're having the money conversation because even Coach McGuire, I'm sure there's a lot of money questions being asked to him because Texas Tech is possibly the biggest NIL spender here. So he said, man, these guys are able to help their families for the next career after this. Forget the fact that they're making the money now. Now you can go into, as people would say, the real world if you're done playing football. Man, that's a pretty decent start to start with.
And I loved Jacob Rodriguez's answer yesterday.
Oh, man.
When I said,
can't wait to put that back out.
Did he's, if you guys didn't get a chance to, I'll just explain to you. I asked him, with all the NIL money that Texas Tech is spending and provide for their players, does it put a target on their back? And he says, no, it doesn't put a target on their back. It give us the gun.
I said, man, I needed to drop the
Yeah.
I needed the air horn thing right there, man. That was a bar.
He said it gives us the gun. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And
Absolutely.
the way he explained it is, you're taking some things off of our table now that we don't have to worry about, that we could just go out and be serious and be focused about football.
Yeah.
And
he's coming from being a walk-on to being an All-American. Huge difference in how he talked about it on here, and we're going to put the interview back out. From just him starting as the walk-on, when you were the full scholarship player, you had to put together some ramen noodles and some other stuff. When you're the walk-on, man, that's everyday life for you. To now change that to be an NIL guy, they got to be able to keep him at Texas Tech.
Jacob mentioned that literally he was paying to play football as a walk-on.
Yes.
And so now with him with all the success he's had on the field, he's able to make this a very lucrative venture for him and his family. And I shout out to those guys, man, because I think a lot of the players are vilified in this era for being greedy, for being opportunistic, for taking advantage of the system or whatever. In a system that took advantage of the player for over 100 years.
It's so hypocritical to even have those thoughts. I'm like you. I hate whenever they get vilified for that, for wanting to receive money, because we don't vilify when Coach whatever leaves FIU and goes to Nebraska or leaves this place and goes to Ohio State. We don't vilify those guys. Why are we going to do it to the players now who, like you said, for hundreds of years, were not getting paid? And somebody was getting paid, and it wasn't them. And the only people that can change the outcome of how they get paid is the players.
Guys like Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, those guys are celebrated for their wealth and power.
Absolutely.
And the only place where men are often criticized for gaining large sums of money is in sports. And I just don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I understand that the fans are the players in some way are beholden to the fans. But at the same time, this is an opportunity that guys will get, and they only have it for a short period of time. Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Warren Buffett, those guys, as you can see with Warren Buffett, you can invest and you can make money well into your 90s. Mm-hmm. These guys are using their body to create money. There's a shelf life on every human being as that's concerned. Everybody's not going to have a 20-year career like LeBron. Most guys are going to have a 5 to 10-year career. Those guys that are successful, now they get to extend that career, in my opinion, because they include college as part of that time period for which they can be benefited for their athleticism.
Absolutely. And like you said, everybody's not going to get to play 20 years like LeBron. Most guys not going to do 5. This gives the opportunity to those guys that are not going to play 5, 10 years in the league. You can make some money now. You have to take a short window of your life and try to make a lifetime worth of money in athletics. So I don't think that we should vilify these guys for making all this money, or oh man, even on the pro level, they say James Harden takes all this money, he hasn't won a ring. These are grown men with families. Your job is to provide and protect. You worried about how many rings does somebody have? He's trying to provide and protect for his family. He's taking care of his family for the rest of his life, no matter what he does. These guys, so I'm like you, man. They shouldn't vilify any of these guys for the NIL money. I want to start talking about the home team first, man. We got a chance to interview all the Baylor guys that came by, man. Great bunch of guys that all really great interviews that we got with all of those guys, man, and we'll definitely be
Jackie, Devin, and Keaton, man, those were sensational
yes,
guys,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir. Omar with a really good interview as well.
Yeah. Omar did as well.
With a really good man. What are we thinking about this Baylor team, man? We talked about it before, but then we got a chance to talk to all the guys, and we got a chance to sit and talk with Dave Aranda. You got to ask him some questions yesterday. Man, what are we thinking about these guys now that we've got a chance to sit and talk to them and see their vision on what they have for this season?
Well, as I assess the team, I believe that the team is very happy with the additions that have been made to their roster on defense. Extremely happy. I'm a defensive guy.
Yeah.
So if you can execute and be dominant on defense, you'll have a chance in every game.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Again, that's defense. Coming into this season or coming out of last season was a question, right? You fortified your defense, and now the focus goes to you have the triplets, as I put it. You have, and what I mean by the triplets, that's how the Dallas Cowboys were known. Aikman, Emmett, and Mike. That's how they were known as the triplets. And I believe Josh Cameron, Bryce Washington, and Sawyer Robertson can be that same triple threat that the triplets
Absolutely.
were. If that means that you have a quarterback that can get it done, you have a running back that can get it done, and we saw Josh Cameron in person yesterday. He's going to be able to get it done.
Man.
And, hey, he is a walking problem.
Yeah, he definitely is. He definitely is. Go, and if you don't believe it, go watch the tape from last year, because I know everybody in here, the Big 12 guys, they think the same thing. He is a problem. And he shouted out some of the young receivers that he said are going to be up and coming this year, including a Waco, Texas product and Jaden Porter, man, that came out of Lorena. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see these guys on the field, man. We just talked to Alejandro Mata from Colorado, and he said, we can't wait. The season can't get here fast enough, and I feel the same way.
And he called out his, he called out Georgia Tech.
Yeah,
and there's an interesting spin, a backstory that we got yesterday that we'll keep that to ourselves.
Yeah.
But that game adds a particular edge, and I'm sure Coach Prime is going to have something very special.
I can't wait to see that game. After what we heard yesterday, I can't wait to see that game against Georgia Tech. But, man, all these guys are ready. You guys are like me. I can't wait for football season. Basketball season just ended. I literally can't wait till football season watches. This is usually the time of the year where I'm on channels like NFL Throwback all day because I'm just watching old film. I go back and I watch film from the last season because I just got to watch some type of football. It's that time. We're getting the media guys. Guys are coming out here in the jerseys and stuff, but they don't have the pads on. So I'm super excited. Baylor's got a really, really promising future ahead of them. And we got the chance to see some of the other teams yesterday. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. BYU, it doesn't count for anything on the field, but off the field, man, they look like the All-American walking in the room.
Hey, man, I'm talking about BYU look like the Avengers, bro.
L.J. Martin is way bigger than what I guess I pictured in my head as a running back. I'm like, is this like Eric Dickerson Jr.? He looked like he about 6'2" or 6'3" coming in there. I'm like, man, their receivers room looks big. Their head coach is big. So I'm sure that's just a part of the culture out there at BYU. BYU is one of those teams that we tend to forget about, but they're going to be right up there at the top of this Big 12 as well. There's a few different teams, man. The Big 12 is so wide open. I heard one of the reporters asking the Utah coach yesterday. He said there's about 6 or 7 teams. Rocky, we were trying to narrow it down to 4. He said there's about 6 or 7 teams that could really do something in this Big 12. And at this point in the season, everybody believes they can do something because we're all 0-0. Nobody's lost any games yet. Nobody's gained any yards or lost any yards. So everybody believes they can do something here, and there's a lot of optimism in the Big 12 for what these guys can do.
All right. I thought that guy was a wide receiver. And it looks like he is a wide receiver, but he's listed as a – I don't know. Like,
who is that?
Glasgow.
Oh, yeah.
He's listed as a wide receiver, but they listed it. He told us he was a wide receiver, but on the roster he's listed as a running back.
Man, they can't both be running backs, man. How many 6 foot something running backs y'all got?
No, he's listed as a linebacker, but they told me he was a wideout, and he looked like a power forward.
Yeah.
So Isaiah, y'all go look up Isaiah Glasgow, man. That dude is a man.
Yeah, that's
a man.
They got some man childs over there at BYU, man. It's fun seeing all these different teams come out here. They bring their star guys or some of their captain guys, and seeing guys from transferring in. Some guys been in the Big 12 the whole time. Some guys transferring in.
That's when he was a freshman. He doesn't look nothing like that.
He pulled up a picture of L.J. Martin. Yeah,
no, that's not LJ. That's Glasgow.
Glasgow. No, he don't look like that anymore.
That's his baby picture.
Yeah, that's his high school senior pick. We got to show the pics from this senior now. That's a whole different guy, man, that was out there right now. But
he's made a drastic transformation.
Like I'm sure a lot of these guys talked to, even Mata that we just talked to, he said he's made a drastic physical change from when he first came in at Jackson State to where he is now. Man, it's a lot of fun getting to talk to these guys. Everybody's got different perspectives on how this season is going to go and what their goals are for this season.
We hope to get a hot guy in to interview later on today who we saw up close and personal a few minutes ago. He's made a drastic change.
Man.
Jordan Seaton, the Colorado 5-star potential first-round draft pick left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like a first-round draft pick.
Man.
He looks like an Avenger, but he's a 6'7", 6'8" Avenger.
Definitely. Hey, man, shout out to our dude,
man.
Go get it to Cam, man. We got to shout out the whole team, man. Sick'em, y'all know what it is. We got some 254 action in the building all the way up here in Frisco. Definitely, man. But, yeah, he looks like a dude for next year, bro. He's going to be a real problem coming into next year. We got a chance to see some of the other Colorado guys, too. We'll try to get a couple more of them on the show here with us as well. We saw Kansas just coming to the building. Everybody's down here with us, man, and it's been a lot of fun so far. We grabbed this picture real quick with the
Right.
the Baylor Bear. Appreciate you, man. Yes, sir. Appreciate it for sure.
Yeah, they got all the
mascots.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
We had the Mountaineer yesterday. We had the Red Raider earlier today. Man, we got the Bear. We just had the Bear. I didn't see BYU's mascot. What is their? I didn't see their Cougar.
Okay. I forgot the Cougars. I was about to say, I don't know what
You thought they were the Youngs?
I don't know who they were. I thought John Smith was going to come around the corner. But, hey, yeah, man, we all the mascots out here. They got some of the cheerleaders. It's a little bit of everybody here. A couple of the coaches out here.
We got Kansas over here
on
the side of us.
Shooting some bids, man. They got a lot of guys coming back as well as a Kansas team that
we have Rick George just walking by us. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, sir?
That is the Colorado AD. All right, yeah,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'd love to have you on. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that was the Colorado AD, Rick George. He's here. I'd rather have Dion, but he said he'd come back. So
hey man,
he's
absolutely.
able to come back and
absolutely.
have an interview with him. Again, this is a great event, and like I said, these are very public figures who have very public jobs. These are men, but at the end of the day, they're men with families, friends, and men and women who have very public jobs. And but at the end of the day, they're men and women who are just trying to do their job so they can provide for their families. And I think these events where you get a chance to meet and talk to them and see that they're just regular people, man, and it kind of humanizes us. And it almost seems unfair sometimes how hard we criticize these people over what is really a game.
Yeah. It brings it all back to perspective. I mean, we go crazy. That's our job too, man. We go crazy on these guys, and we say this coach isn't doing this player isn't getting it done. And you see these guys in person, it's like, man, these guys are just trying to get it done, just like everybody else, man. It definitely brings that into perspective. We've talked to a couple of different guys from different teams, different players, different coaches. Has your four changed? You started off the weekend or the week saying, what are the four teams that are going that you have a chance to compete for the Big 12 championship? Has your 4 teams changed since we've been here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I must admit. I must admit. And it may change again by the end of the day.
Yeah.
So,
it may.
So one, I have to throw Baylor in that mix.
Yeah.
After talking to their players, listening to Coach Aranda, seeing just the sheer confidence of the defensive players just oozing out. Looking at Josh Cameron and understanding what Sawyer Robertson has went through this summer with being part of the Manning Academy, he has to be a better quarterback coming in the next year based on what he learned from Peyton and Eli and their staff over at the Manning Academy.
Yeah.
So I look for those guys to be a part of that 4. I also So then I have to take someone out. And at the end of the day, the team I'm going to take out first is I'm going to go ahead and take out Iowa State, right? I'm going to insert Baylor and take out Iowa State.
Okay.
Right?
I'm not mad at that.
So now where you have Baylor, you have Baylor, Arizona State, Texas Tech, and
can't forget about the general, man. You gonna take them out. Your guy.
I got to put Avery Johnson in there. But I'm telling you,
yeah.
I'm about right here from taking Arizona State out. To be perfectly honest,
absolutely.
With you. Based on what we've seen here today, how impressive some of the other players are, and I'm gonna eliminate some teams. I'm gonna eliminate, even though they're here today. Based on, I'm going to have to eliminate Houston from being part of the mix.
Yes. no disagreements there.
I'm going to have to eliminate Cincinnati.
Yes.
From being part of the mix.
Yes, I agree.
I'm gonna make now this team said that was in the mix. I'm not going to eliminate them now, but I'm going to probably eliminate Utah at some point. Yep. Of the group of 4 that is eliminated from having a chance to win.
We talked about it before, man. I just wasn't sold after seeing Cam Rising go. I know he's a big piece of the offense, but the product I seen after that, I just wasn't sold on it that we saw. Most teams you see Baylor had a quarterback go down. They elevated. We saw Cam Rising go down, and a lot of the production went down with it last year as well. But I agree with those, man. First off, you said you might take off Arizona State. Now, we saw Sam Levitt in here yesterday, and we saw Avery Johnson in here yesterday. Avery Johnson looks like a dude. I'm not saying Sam Levitt isn't. I'm just saying Avery Johnson looks like a dude, man. He in person, he's a lot bigger than what he looks like on television, man. He looks like a dude, and I think he's going to have a really, really good season this upcoming season, man. But those eliminations, I agree with.
He reminded me of Aquaman with that hair, man. I don't know that guy. I don't know the guy who plays Aquaman, but you know the guy who I'm talking about.
I was going to say Thor. Either one of them.
Thor. Yeah.
I was going to say either one of those guys. Yeah, I was going to say either one of those guys, man. But yeah, those eliminations you said yesterday, or just a second ago, I agree with that, man. I don't know if Cincinnati's going to have enough to get it done.
That I really, and it may be due to proximity, it may be due to, how kind of far outside of the Big 12 footprint they are. But I haven't heard a lot about UCF, and I just don't know what they have. Scott Frost was here yesterday, did a really good interview, also talked about being at Nebraska kind of put a damper on his career, and he actually had ability to, it's just a hard job is what he simply said. And I agree with it. When you go through Brett Bielema, Kavanaugh, they've run through some really good coaches.
Yeah, they definitely have. They definitely have. But I agree, man. You see,
not Bielema, but what's his name? Palima.
Yeah. I don't, them losing R.J. Harvey into the draft, he's on the Denver Broncos. Them losing K.J. Jefferson, he was no longer at UCF. Man, that's huge. That was a huge chunk of their offense last year, and they were one of those teams that was a fringe competitor towards the beginning. And I think Colorado kind of beat that out of them when they kind of took some of that life out when they went down there to UCF and played those guys. But they're a team that I will probably take out of that mix too as well. For contenders. We're not saying, oh, these guys are going to be terrible or this guy is going to do this. We're trying to prop up and eliminate some of the teams that will be contenders because there's 16 teams in the Big 12. There's 16 of them. So you gotta take some guys out and gotta prop some guys up as well. One of the teams that's here today, I'm interested to see and see how their season go, and that's Arizona. Them losing T-Mac in the first round of the draft last year will be a big piece of their offense, but they still got Noah Fafita, their quarterback. They still got that big offensive line out there, and they got some guys coming back on defense as well. So I'm interested to see some of those guys as well too.
Absolutely. The one team that my sentimental favorite is definitely Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes.
Yeah.
But with them having a new quarterback, a brand new quarterback, and not knowing who they're going to go with at quarterback, that has me.
Makes you wonder a little bit.
Yeah, it makes you wonder.
And like I said yesterday, I want to see, okay, now that Shador is not there, are they going to tailor this offense to be a little bit more run-centric, to balance it out and to take some of that pressure off of Caden Salters, or definitely take some of that pressure off of a freshman, Juju, who will be playing? Will that run game be able to open that? They still got some dudes at receiver. So it's not like they're going to go and just be, a triple option team. They still got dudes coming in at receiver this upcoming year. I'm interested to see how will they tailor this offense post Shador at Colorado now is what I'm interested to see.
Yeah, I'm looking at, my deal is this. I really believe that the fate of the team lies with how effective the offensive line, how much improvement they can make in 1 year. I believe that they put a lot of the offensive burden on Shador last year because of the offensive line situation. They felt like they were more effective, trying to move the ball through the air. This year, with Caden Salters is definitely a mobile quarterback.
Yes.
And I think they have more options than just throwing the football if they go with Caden. Not that they can't pass, but he's an athlete, a quarterback. And when you look at that receiver room, what they have in receivers, they could really be a problem if they're able to, if the offensive line is able to make the necessary improvements.
And that's what makes it so fun covering the Big 12 is like we've said multiple times, it's wide open, man. A couple of good games put together from either one of these teams, and we could change our entire opinion. Just like a couple of bad games from some of these teams. We see some of the guys from Oklahoma State last year. A lot of guys, one of the overwhelming favorites was Oklahoma State for the conference, and they ended up getting last. So to see just that switch, we don't know what's going to happen in this is a brand new Big 12. This will go into the second year of this version of the Big 12. So we're still trying to see what are the coaches like, what are the players like, how do they play against each other, how do they coach against each other. So there's a lot of different things in this brand new Big 12 that they give you to think about.
I'll ask you this. Based on what you think, and I'll bring it back to Baylor. What's the over/under on wins for Baylor at this point?
So I'm going to pull up their schedule. I'm thinking at least 8 wins just off the top of my head, but I'm gonna pull up their schedule real quick so I can make sure that I'm looking at this right. So a lot of their season is going to be determined by week 1. A lot of their season, and you don't like to judge everybody off week one. Week one, some people, everybody's not in rhythm, all of the different things. But the week 1 is going to set a lot of precedent. If they come out there and they beat the brakes off of Auburn, we're looking at this completely different. If the vice versa happens and Auburn comes in and beats the brakes off of Baylor, then we're looking at not only how do they rebound from that loss, because they got to go right back up to SMU. They got to get right on 35 and go to play SMU, who's got a young Kevin Jennings, who was also at the Manning Academy as well.
Well, let's go. Let's get the sure wins out of the way.
Got you.
Auburn, not a sure win. SMU, not a sure win.
No.
Sanford, I'll give them Sanford.
Yeah.
Arizona State, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, none of those are sure wins. Neither is TCU.
Oklahoma State's debatable, but yeah, not a sure win.
Well, let's give them Oklahoma State. That's 2.
Okay.
Then you got Cincinnati. I think that's a win.
Yes.
let's give them UCF.
Mm-hmm.
That's a win. Let's give them Utah,
And
Arizona, Houston. You know what? This is funny. Their season may be a lot like last year if, in fact, they split with those first 5 teams. If they go 3-3 with the first 6 teams,
mm-hmm.
they literally could run the table on the last 6, and we not and that would leave them with 9-3. But I think they could literally run the table the last 6 games if they could get if they come out of the TCU game, 4-2, 5. Let me see, that'd be 5-2.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 4-2. That's 6 games. Or 7 games. TCU,
7 games.
not Kansas State.
7 games.
Yeah.
If they come out
5-2.
of 5-2, they could easily end up 10-2.
Yeah.
And playing for a conference championship.
Absolutely.
That's how they. Unfortunately for Baylor, they get their season started really early.
Yeah. But it starts to cool down. The things that jump off when you look at their schedule, and I've said it before on the show, no Iowa State, no Tech, no BYU, no Colorado. Those are all teams that we see as guys that can get 10 right there at the top for the Big 12.
But they do have Arizona State.
They do, yeah.
Kansas State and TCU right there
At
the top of their Big 12 schedule.
And then, like you said, the first 2 could just as easy as their 2-0 could be 0-2. Playing against Auburn and SMU, who are no slouches whatsoever. Auburn is one of the big NIL spenders this past summer as well.
Well, I think they have a good schedule from this standpoint. They have both Auburn and SMU at home.
Well, they have SMU on the road.
Oh,
but
no.
Yeah, SMU's
right,
on the road. But, I mean, that's a 50-minute drive up to Dallas real quick. So it's not too far of a trip for them. But I'm seeing – I'm going to go out and say 8 wins is what I would go. If the over-under would probably be around 8.5, I'd take the over on that if I had if I was doing their betting odds for the season on their wins.
I'm going to say 3-3 on the first 6 and then 5-1 on the next 6. That puts me at 9.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
And that the main thing is they have to be in contention. And I've said this before. We got to be the ones to put the pressure on the Baylor. It can't just be, we're going to be a good team or we want to win 7 or 8 games. And we didn't get that feel from the players at all yesterday. They all all had a lot of confidence when they came up here, especially the guys on the defensive side of the ball. That's what got me excited to watch the games. Everybody keeps saying violent and physical. When we talked to KT, to Keaton Thomas, he said the same thing. They want to be violent. They want to be physical. Devin Bobby, we've seen him come down here last year hitting people. We know he wants to be violent and physical. Jackie Marshall is one of the de facto leaders of that front 7, and especially on that defensive line with guys like Steve Linton and Garmin Randolph and those guys leaving. Him and Keaton Thomas are going to drive a lot of that force, man. So I'm excited. This just gets you ready for football, like we've said, folks. I'm excited to see these guys next year. Outside of, you brought up one of the lines we had yesterday with Jacob Rodriguez on there. Any other standout moments in a couple of the interviews that we had yesterday that make you say, okay, this is going to be a funny clip, or this is going to be that was something really good that he said right there.
I was really good to hear that two people that are close to Coach Prime, Uncle Neely and Ro Parrish, they showed immense confidence that he'll be back in full strength this upcoming season. With what up to this point has been the situation with Coach Prime, I had serious concerns about his health and how it may affect him coming into this season, and so that really gave me some hope and some optimism about his health situation and that he'll be back on the sidelines really quick.
Yeah, because that's huge. That's huge, man. The head coach means so much, especially a coach like Deion, means so much to that program, man. To see that he will be able to be on the sidelines, he will be out there to lead his team. I can't wait. One of the highlights I liked out of it was talking to Uncle Neely yesterday, and he talked about that importance of the media, man. Those guys, him along with Deion's son, Bucky, and the other guys at Colorado, have changed the way that we view college football, honestly. Yeah. The numbers speak for itself. You can say, oh, we all watched this, or you guys were tuning in because we've seen the numbers. So you guys were tuning in to what Colorado was doing. I know I was, and we have multiple outlets to watch it. I was tuned in when those guys were at Jackson State, and being another media outlet, man, that's inspiring to see those guys and to see them starting from ground zero and built it all the way up to what it was now, man. So that was a cool thing to see and get to talk to Neely about the media and how important it is. How important it is to not only show everybody else, but the biggest part I liked about what they do is they control their own narrative. You'll see what we put out, and we'll tell you how we're going to be good and how we're going to do this and how we like to approach our day-to-day and how we like to run our practices. And he said on there that Coach Prime told him, man, this is unfiltered. There's not a lot of editing going on in there of cutting stuff out and saying this. A lot of the times we're seeing the raw version of what's really going on behind the scenes, man, and I think the fans like myself really enjoy getting a chance to see stuff like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, like I said, I think that was a highlight. Roe and Neely happened. You know, those were two great interviews. And again, like I mentioned yesterday on my last night on my podcast, all of this and so much more, you can catch it at CentexSportsNetwork.com.
Yes, sir. You'll be able to catch all of it. Like I said, we'll repurpose all these interviews, put them back out on YouTube, on our Facebook, and definitely on CentexSportsNetwork.com. Folks, still here at Big 12 Media Day here in Frisco, Texas at the Star. We're going to take a break, guys, and we're going to come back. More interviews. Still got more coaches to talk about, and we definitely will wrap towards the end of this to talk about everything that we saw here at Big 12 Media Day at the Star here in Frisco. So stay tuned and stay locked in with us here on Centex Sports Network. We will be back here at the Star in Frisco, Texas, Big 12 Media Day.